to do, and that's okay. That's the way college basketball is in this day and age. Bonaventure is at center court for Duquesne. Meanwhile, Bennings at center court for St. Bonaventure. Tommy Morrissey is at center court to throw it up. And game 2 of our Atlantic 10 semifinals underway. The Dukes, the higher seed, wearing white with the basketball. Off the screen, Clark to the near side for Day Grant. Grant double teamed off the switch. Those two guys are a huge part of the offense for Duquesne.
Duquesne's very methodical in their offensive approach, starting the game off with a turnover.
Yeah, Mahorchich was trying to find Drame down low. Again, as AJ said, we'll see a lot more of Drame. Drame, the transfer from LaSalle, who also started at St. Peter's. He was Banks' teammate at St. Peter's.
They made that magical run for Shaheen Holloway, now head coach at Seton Hall.
Adams Woods brings it up the floor for St. Bonaventure. Isam Boos to Venning. We'll watch Venning's minutes. They're starting to go down a little bit. Fatigue's taken a toll, but well, he got that bucket, but a traveling violation was called by Lamar Simpson.
Yeah, happy feet there. We'll see how they guard Venning. Mahorchich guarding him one-on-one in that situation. Then he trying to get himself established. Mark Schmidt's trying to get him established early.
Clark covered up top by Flowers. Mahorchich set the screen. Now Grant, 1 minute into the game, no score. Grant trying to get some separation. Baseline throw up is no good. Ball tipped around, still loose, and it's taken out of the air by Charles Pride.
You can see what type of game this is going to be. A mention about a hard hat. Bring your lunch pail. This is going to be a physical one on both ends.
Betting with the high screen. Pride got free for a moment. They'll go down low to Betting. There's the double team with the two bigs.
You see, you got to sprint out. You see Drame, number 34, sprinting the double, then sprinting out of it quickly.
5 on the shot clock. Isam Boos, right side of the lane, goes up off the glass. It's good. Slight hesitation at the end just to give some daylight.
Yeah, great angle there on the drive. Drame's got to slide over quicker, got to get in better position. Isam Boos recognized that and got a straight line drive to the rim.
The average is over 7 points per game. DeMichael to the middle of the floor.
Keep an eye on Venning, number 32, having to guard off ball screens, how much energy he has to expend, and will it affect him on offense.
Drame falling to the floor, lost it for a moment. Clark got it. Shot clock is at 2. Clark with a shot fake. Shot clock at 1. Throws it up short. And Pride with excellent defense.
Let's talk about the Duquesne defense. The Bonnies starting the game off playing great physical defense themselves. Giving the Dukes a one-shot game thus far.
Venning, spin move, cut off, got some space. Venning up off the glass, it's good. He is a strong kid. He's gotten his body in better shape. Now a knee injury has plagued him a little bit. You can see the wrap on that knee. It's also limited his cardio that he can do in between games. Clark was harassed. High steps in. Left side for Grant for 3. It's good.
And that's what they have to do. A lot of dribble. And Keith Dambrot even talked about that. Move the ball around. Jimmy Clark, again, he can be known to bounce the ball a little too much. But advantageous there off the loose ball with the driving kick situation for Day Grant.
Part of the reason why they have Jimmy Clark on Micah Adams Woods, because they want to keep him engaged. And that'll be the second traveling violation called on Venning. As Drame will check out, David Dixon will check in. Oh, excuse me, Mahorchich will check out. There's that 3 by Day Grant. And Venning will check out for the first time for St. Bonaventure. And it brings in Noel Brown, who was such a big piece to the success of St. Bonaventure in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, just more athletic, more mobile.
Well, Mark Schmidt told us, he said, listen, if we didn't have Noel Brown, I don't know if we would be here right now.
And very complimentary of him. Again, you're talking about, people talk about the guy who scores a lot of points a lot. Sometimes guys like Noel Brown are going to leave their imprint on the game more than you know. How about that shot?
Grant just threw it up from the right wing. I guess he thought he knew where it was going. But he's got 2 threes.
That's 2 passes by the dynamic duo.
Right.
Jimmy Clark finding his buddy, Day Grant.
Adams Woods converts, going down the left side of the lane. St. Bonaventure 3 for 3 to start the ball game.
The guards in this game are very good.
Clark gets free. Clark leans in. That's a tough shot. That is a tough angle with his left hand.
Yeah, that's just bad defense. So Brown had him cut off. He leaves him. Right, he has an angle to the rim to go find his man. And leads to an easy basket.
Flowers off the curl. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Adams Woods. Transfer from Cincinnati. No look pass to his buddy Charles Pride, and he's off the mark. Brown with the rebound. Lost it as it went down. It's out of bounds off St. Bonaventure. 15:29 to play in the first half. We are just underway. The Dukes have the early lead. There's Noel Brown, who again is in the ball game for Chad Venning. He'll spell Venning. DeMichael, the walk-on. Third all-time leading scorer in Pennsylvania high school history. Has been such a revelation for Keith Dambrot, who told us at one point, he said, listen, I was giving the older guys a chance to play. He said, but then after a couple of games, I realized I got to play the best players.
Yeah, we call that lineup optimization. You got to know who to play at certain times, and you try a bunch of different things out. And DeMichael knocking down that triple. And you mentioned he's one of those guys that he inserted and realized that they play a lot better with him in the lineup.
Duquesne is 3 of 4 from beyond the arc of the early going. Banks in for the first time, gets it to Brown. Brown away from the basket. Dixon's on him.
They're coming with the trap. You're going to have to throw out of that trap and see if you can force Duquesne to have to rotate, and that'll create some situations where he can drive to the rim off closeouts.
3 for Flowers. It's good. Flowers on the year, 38% from beyond the arc.
You know me, Tom, I love the 3-ball. You can knock down the 3-ball. I always believe you have a chance to win games, particularly this time of year.
There's a big-time high-low. Dixon down low, kicks it out. Day Grant for 3. It's good. He splashes it home from the left wing.
He's certainly different than the first game. These guys are raining threes.
Well, he's 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. It's a 5-point lead for the Dukes.
Make sure they get some awareness to him, their leading scorer. You see the Dukes switching screens when 2 light players, that means 2 guards of the same size, come together. They switch the screen, do not give them an advantage. Good defense there.
Banks could not get the 3. Dixon with a nice box out. David Dixon, the sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. He runs and is fouled going to the basket.
They're working that high screen and roll action. See, the skip to the weak side. Because, again, that's just good defense when it's all bows in the post. You're on the midline. That's what coaches teach kids. But when you have a shooter on the weak side like Day Grant, I want to alter that a bit.
Keith Dambrot will send Kareem Rozier into the game. He looked like he had a lot of fun with Rozier yesterday at practice on his shooting. Rozier, that's him triggering the inbound. It was actually funny to watch both of those guys go back and forth with each other. It kind of relaxed a little of the shoot-around for Duquesne. Mahorchich is in also. He'll take the inbounds.
St. Bonnie definitely wants to dig in here. Mentioned before, Duquesne beat them twice this year. 2 tough games.
DeMichael lost control. Ball is loose. It squirted like a seed out of a grape for a moment. And now a jump ball, and the possession goes to St. Bonaventure.
No question about every possession matters. See their hands in there. People are diving on loose balls, giving their bodies up for their team, playing for the name on the front of the jersey. One and done tournament, Tom. That's where we are right now.
Oh, we are there. Number 1 seeds have fallen all over the place in college basketball. Rozier is on Adams Woods, snaking his way up the floor. Venning's about to check back in. To Banks. And now Evans in for the first time.
That switch on the weak side over there.
Shot clock is at 5. Banks realizes it. Shot clock is at 4. Banks to the free throw line. Banks with the one-hander. Pinballs in and out. The rebound by Drame.
Another really good possession defensively by the Dukes, forcing them to take a contested 2 at the end of the shot clock.
Mahorcic with the handoff to Rozier. Drame thinking about a three, high arcing three, no good. And the rebound is taken for St. Bonaventure.
Tough shot. Drame certainly capable of making that shot. That one didn't look so good, Tom.
He's made 24 this year. So you're right, he's capable of making it. Adams Woods step back jumper from 17, grazes the front of the rim. And Rozier with the rebound, and he is hit in the face. Werner is the proud title sponsor of the Naismith Coach of the Year Award. Join us over Final Four weekend as we highlight this year's winners right here on CBS Sports Network. Got some good ones. I think you might have to look at South Florida for one of them for the Coach of the Year awards.
Oh, no question. Mir Abdul-Rahim, brother of Sharif Abdul-Rahim, the great NBA player, president of the G League.
Adams Woods comes down with the rebound. Banks, he wanted to catch and shoot. Venning back in, by the way.
Duquesne, Tom, they're just so physical. They embody the name Dukes. You got to put your Dukes up when you're playing against this physical defense, and they're deep as well.
Adams Woods leaves Netchus. He leaves it inside for Venning, who floats it in.
And that's an advantage for them. They're switching a lot of screens. Netchus is guarding Adams Woods. He cannot guard him. Getting to the rim, having to help. Venning gets the offensive rebound because there's no one there to tag him and box him out.
Not necessarily a rock fight, which both coaches called their first matchup. In fact, Mark Schmidt said, I didn't even know if we would get to 15 points in the first half of that game. Mahorcic down low. No look pass, and the easy sweep by Netchus.
And Netchus has just a very good player, very smart, can shoot it. Sweet left-handed stroke. Savvy player with a lot of size.
5-point lead for Duquesne. Nearly halfway into this first half. Pride off the glass, doesn't get it to go, and the rebound is tipped into the hands of the Dukes and Day Grant.
I think this is similar to the first game. They're allowing them to play. That was from the logo.
That was literally from the logo. Here's Banks. No look pass to Pride. Pride corrals it on the baseline. Pride and Adams Woods grew up together in Syracuse. They decided to come to St. Bonaventure and play on the same team. Venning, a misdirected shot, and the loose ball picked up by DeMichael.
His bodies are flying all over the place.
All over the place.
You got to give Duquesne credit. You see Mahorcic is asking for a break. He needs a blow. St. Bonaventure's got to find some flow offensively because the physicality of Duquesne is certainly bothering.
Oh, Mahorcic is able to get free. Can't finish, though. Evans bumped up top. That foul will go on Netchus. 5-point lead. Duquesne is on top. We're seeing some ability. Rocket science. But the fact that he's held 96 teams to 60 points or fewer, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
It's certainly impressive, and it shows you what their program's all about is tenacity and defense. And I'll just tell you this, keeping teams under 60 is very difficult.
Very difficult. This day and age.
This day and age, it's very difficult.
5-point lead. St. Bonaventure with the ball. Isambus with a little weave up top with Banks. Adams Woods to Banks. Nice recognition by Banks. He found Brown slicing to the basket. He wanted the three first. It wasn't there, so he found Brown.
As I said before, Mark Schmidt's a mad scientist offensively. They fooled him with the weave, little dummy action. They wanted the roll to the rim, and they got it to Noah Brown.
Grant to the right sideline. Three from the corner. It's good. Rozier is able to splash it home.
And Rozier definitely is a quick shooter. That's that guy right there getting a steal.
Yep.
He does
He's the best in the Atlantic 10, and he sweeps it in on the reverse. It's an 8-point lead for Duquesne.
I really like this Duquesne team. They have two talented guards. They can bring another ball handler. That's
another one.
Steal, almost.
A near one. It's amazing when guys have the nose for the ball like that. And there's Clark, who tipped it to Rozier. It's 4-on-5. Dixon can't catch it. It's out of bounds.
See Day Grant there with the skip pass. There's a nice little screen there by Dixon. The flare screen to get him open for the corner three. And that guy is unbelievable. He always has his hands, Tom. And we have to stay away from him in the cookie jar.
Boost peeking in to Brown. Takes the handoff to Adams Woods.
How physical Duquesne is. As he does another turnover travel of coming off those screens. They're called the blowing them up, where they just don't allow you to come off comfortably and get those handoffs. Very physical team defensively. This team loves to play defense. That's hard to find in college basketball, but they're an experienced team with a hard-nosed, tough coach.
That's 5 turnovers they've forced now for St. Bonaventure. The Bodies, who trailed in the quarterfinal game. They trail this one by 8. Clark, shot fake the first time, and second shot is no good. Flowers with the rebound.
I know that Keith Danborough say his team is not the best offensively, but they really run really good sets. They do a good job of playing together and screening. They're very deliberate. They just have a tough time scoring at times, but they can lock you up defensively to make up for a multitude of sins. See switching, that switching defense.
Here's Banks to Brown. Shot clock at 4. Brown unable to finish. The putback there for Banks is good.
And every time they get a switch, and Netchus, when they get him to switch, they attack him every single time. The Dukes may want to think about that moving forward when they get a timeout to talk about that defensive principle.
Dixon able to come to the basketball up top to Clark, and it's stolen away. A save by Flowers off the steal. Adams Woods waving everybody up. He's looking. He wanted to skip that one to Banks. Banks is in the left corner. He'd like it. He has it.
You got that matchup again.
Is he going to dive to the basket? There he is. Little hesitation. Fader from the baseline. It's good.
Yeah, you can't guard him. Like, you got to have to switch him out of the game, because Mark Schmidt is a very smart coach. You're going to continue to go through that every single time, and the St. Bonaventure crowd is into it.
Whistle blows, and now I think we've got an injured player, Noel Brown. I don't know if he did something to his knee.
Yeah, he was hurting on the offensive end as well.
He was going out anyway, but they're making sure that he's okay. Transfer from George Washington. So Venning checks back in for St. Bonaventure. It'll be Duquesne basketball, the shot clock at 21. Each team 8 of 16 from the floor. They've had different personalities, though. Here's DeMichael. Well, the side of the backboard is not the route to go. Shot clock is at 5. Here's Clark into the paint. Clark off the glass. It's good. He switched hands as he gives a little bit of a sign of a muscle. He should.
He certainly did with that nice finish. Oh, Chad Venning just Euro stepped. Tremendous finish. But again, a second shot opportunity turns into a basket for the Dukes.
Adams Woods up top for Boost. Back to Adams Woods. We head toward the 6-minute mark. Under 10 on the shot clock. Little dribbling display. Finds Banks. Shot clock at 5. Banks up top for Adams Woods. He's open for 3. No good. And the rebound is pulled down by Jimmy Clark.
And just a wide open look. Banks drawing 2 players. Getting so much attention. Don't get many looks like that against the Dukes. Got to knock that one down when you do.
It almost looked like he had to think about it a little bit, instead of just athletically going in rhythm with it.
You see the physicality on both ends that these teams are playing with defensively. They're getting after it. It is tough to get open airspace to get a clean look.
Banks up top off the high screen set by Venning. Banks from the free throw line off the side of the iron, no good, and Clark with another rebound.
Yeah, just a tough shot. Banks is trying to assert himself. Bonnie's is usually one of those teams that moves the ball around and tries to find an open man.
Drame for 3. Banks with the rebound. 5 minutes to play in the first half.
That's what you mentioned before about Mark Schmidt and the way he runs his offense, having so many different plays, and that he'll take for sure. They're trying to ice the screen, Tom, and what they mean by this is keep you on one side of the floor. Unfortunately, he had no help at the rim. You see him icing the screen right there to force him to drive with his right hand Drame coming over too late to get the charge.
Yeah, so Moses Flowers will go to the free throw line after making the bucket. Flowers, the transfer from Hartford.
Two very experienced teams.
First free throw of the game goes to St. Bonaventure, and it cuts the lead to 3.
And definitely never count the St. Bonaventure team out. Mark Schmidt, as he said yesterday, one of the oldest teams, if not the oldest team in the country. So this group has played a lot of basketball minute-wise.
Yes.
They're not going to be shaken.
Well, they weren't shaken in the quarterfinal. Ronski in for the first time. Drame's jumper no good. Loose ball picked up by Isambus. Here come the bodies down by 3. One possession game. Isambus, little shot fake. Try to get some space. And Banks with a nudge to his left. Venning puts it on the deck. Venning off the glass. Oh, he's rocking the baby. I think he rocked everybody to sleep. I don't think anybody anticipated that.
This group here, both teams. Oh, this is something getting the crowd into the game for sure. They know what's at stake.
9-2 run. Clark tried to end it. He cannot. Venning with the rebound. Pride. Extra pass. Isambus for 3. No good. You may have heard the crowd in Olean if he had made that.
No question about it. You and I know a little bit about Olean.
Oh, we do.
The Riley Center. They love their bodies.
Drame looked awkward inside for Dixon, who just throws it up no good. Venning can't corral the rebound. It's loose, pinballing around, and Banks has it.
That's what it's going to take. As I mentioned in the keys, you got to give the Dukes a one-shot game. They are going to send people to the rim.
Whistle blows. Clark is called for the foul.
Tom has been a physical one, but the dancing man, the big guy, light on his feet. Tom getting to the rim. Duke player, head coach at Howard, taking him to the NCAA tournament once again.
How about Colgate? A Patriot League record 4 consecutive trips to the
Matt Langle's
NCAA tournament. Matt Langle.
Yeah, really good job. I'm sure that at some point somebody's going to come and get him, because he's certainly deserving of an opportunity at a higher level for sure.
3:10 and counting to play here in the first half. St. Bonaventure with the basketball trying to take the lead. That's an air ball, so the shot clock doesn't reset. Isambus lost it. Now that was the hands again of Day Grant. St. Bonaventure now 1 of 7 from beyond the arc.
I'm so surprised. I can say surprised, but they're allowing so much physicality. And as I mentioned, there's a turnover there. A rock fight.
Do you like that? The fact that they're allowing?
I do.
I think it's good.
I mean, I grew up in the Big East, so we had 6 fouls when I played. So that lets you know how I think about it.
Duquesne has turned it over 5 times. St. Bonaventure's turned it over 6 times. 2.5 to play in the first half. Banks. He got a little space and then got caught.
Notice how Rozier is not allowing Flowers on the strong side to get a shot. Forcing Banks to have to pick his dribble up.
Shot clock is at 5. Pride off the screen. Shot clock is at 2. Pride. Whoa, he threw that off the shot clock. That's a violation on so many levels.
They're doing a really good job. Michael did, number 44, of icing the screen, forcing the ball down. Tough, difficult shot.
Reminder, the winner of this one will take on VCU, the 5 seed tomorrow. VCU won earlier against St. Joseph's 66-60. That game will be on CBS. Kevin Harlan, Dan Bonner, who is here and attentive right now on what's going on, and A.J. Ross will be on the call. Duquesne has been scoreless the last 4 minutes plus, but still with the lead. Dixon away from the basket. Dixon
going to get to that left shoulder.
And another turnover. So each team with 6 turnovers. Actually, St. Bonaventure has 7, excuse me. Adams Woods.
And both teams doing a really good job of guarding those ball screens with their bigs. Bigs are very versatile and mobile. Hard for those smaller guards to score with them.
Shot clock is at 7. Banks going to the basket. Did not have the angle. It was cut off because he went too far to the baseline. DeMichael extra pass. Day Grant open for three. It's good. He rattled it home. 26-22. It's the first bucket in almost 6 minutes for the Dukes.
And just a really good pass recognition, as they call it, one more by DeMichael to get Day Grant in the corner with the triple.
That's a use it or lose it timeout for St. Bonaventure. 4-point lead for Duquesne. 1:06 to play here in the first half. We'll be back.
The University of Houston Cougars, talking about a tough team, #1 in the country right now. We're looking in the catbird, look like they're in the catbird seat, in pole position to get that #1 overall seed, but still time and games to play.
That's pretty good, Walker. You used a baseball reference. In the
I did.
And you used a NASCAR reference, too.
I'm sitting next to a
all in a basketball game.
I'm sitting next to a professional, one of the GOATs, as they say.
Shot clock is at 9. Adams Woods looking in at Benning. Good help by Drame. Shot clock is at 3. Banks realizes it. Shot clock at 2. He lets it go. It's an air ball. So for St. Bonaventure, it's another turnover. And for Mark Schmidt, who is a great designer of offensive plays, it didn't work out of the timeout.
Yeah, I'm sure he definitely was not happy about that. But, again, credit the defense of Duquesne, because whatever they were trying to do offensively, it was offset because of the defensive scheme of the Dukes.
Each team subbing here, 44.9 to play.
And Bonaventure needs to get a stop here. They will get an opportunity to get another shot. Only down 4. And somewhat of a rock fight, Tom, I would say.
It's turned into that.
Yeah.
14 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock.
Yeah, good job switching that screen. Day Grant was coming off. Look at the physicality.
Michael, wow, with that big step, sweeps it off the glass.
Isenbo did a great job of cutting him off, but DeMichael put him in the spin cycle.
Sure did.
And no one was there.
St. Bonaventure will hold it for one final shot, down by 6.
Switching that ball screen, as I said, they're going to continue to switch.
Game clock is down to 2. Dribbling display on. He lost it. And that will end the first half. Day Grant leads the way with 12 points for Duquesne. And the Dukes will go into halftime if they want to.
They can, but, Tom, easier said than done. I'm just telling you right now, this team here is very well coached defensively, and they're so physical. They seem like 2 and 3 guys are running at you every single time.
All right.
They're not afraid of the collision.
Last 20 minutes before we see who's going to face VCU tomorrow in the Atlantic 10 Finals. The Dukes with the lead by 6 and the ball. Drame going down low. Good catch, good finish.
Yeah, good job there, taking advantage of, there's an injury there.
Well, we had bodies flying every which way. Adams Woods was the one who got knocked down. I'm not sure if Mahorcic hit him or if it was his teammate.
Ran into his teammates.
His buddy, too.
Right. Yeah, tough one there, but taking advantage of Benning having to guard a ball screen and then sprint and help once again at the foul line. Mahorcic wide open. Again, they're just going to continue. It's a chess match between coaches of how to create an advantage, and they're using Benning right now to do that.
Dukes have their largest lead of the game. It matches their largest lead, 30-22. Adams Woods, Isam boost for 3. It was partially blocked by Drame and plucked out of the air by Jimmy Clark. Here's Clark. He's waiting for Day Grant. And now off the screen, Mahorcic was open for a moment.
But that drag ball screen, I mentioned before, they're going to continue to make Benning have to guard ball screens. Let's see if he can sprint back.
Drame lost it for a moment, got it back. Shot clock is at 7. Clark realizes it. Shot clock is at 4. At least I think he realizes it. Through the defense, heads to the hoop, lays it in. Oh, that was too easy of a finish. It's a 10-point lead, largest of the game.
Tom, once again, what happened? They split Benning on the ball screen. That's what they're going to continue to do. Smart coaching.
Adams Woods down low to Isam Boost outside for a 3 from Flowers, no good. And Clark with the rebound. Duquesne has not been to the NCAA tournament since 1977. In fact, Keith Dambrot took over the program where his dad, Sid, won a national championship as a player in what was the NIT at the time. He said he did it to honor his father. And he's trying to take Duquesne to some impressive heights to the semis.
And you see that Jimmy Clark just smart, splitting the ball screen. Benning doing a good job of getting out there, getting horizontal. But at the end of the day, there's no way that he can slide his feet once Clark makes that second move, gets to the rim. There was no help at all, no resistance at the rim, which caused that basket to happen as well.
Barry Evans just checked in for St. Bonaventure. Esam Bush checked out. Shot clock under 10. Day Grant steps to his left, leaves it inside from Mahorcic. It's down low and a jam by Jimmy Clark.
They're going to have to bring in Noel Brown if they can, because again, they're continuously, when Mahorcic dives to the rim, they honor it, they throw it to him. They're not big enough to stop him.
And there's that pass.
Yes.
They're able to find that we thought St. Bonaventure would try to do.
So here's the thing. If you're going to have Benning in the game, you have to throw him the ball so he can score.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have to take him out if they're going to continue to punish him on defense.
Adams Woods slips it to Evans. Evans off balance shot, no good. Drame with the rebound. Again, Duquesne is playing without Trey Flowers, who's out with a shoulder injury. He only averages 3.6, but he is a gutty kid, and he scored 1,000 points in his career.
Noel Brown's getting ready to check in. As I mentioned, that same action one more time. Good job by Benning sprinting back with his hands up.
Little head and shoulder fake. Clark going right to the basket. No good. First miss of the second half for the Dukes.
A better possession there defensively by the Bonnies.
Adams Woods kicks it off to Banks, open for three. No good. Too strong. Benning, though, with the rebound. Adams Woods for three. That's no good. And Clark runs down the rebound. That's 8 rebounds for Clark.
Yeah, just a lid on the rim for the Bonnies, getting good looks at some point. You figured it's going to be favorable. 0 for 5 this half. Momentum somewhat will shift in their direction. It's going to be a tough game, as I mentioned, and we talked about in the open if they can't make threes.
Shot clock under 10. They go inside from Mahorcic. Low post, right side, 5 on the shot clock. Turns to the baseline, off the glass, no good. Didn't have the angle, ball out of bounds. It's a violation. Team up, hang on, take the ride. PBR teams coming this July. Along with Chris Walker and A.J. Ross, I'm Tom McCarthy. Rozier checks in for Duquesne. The Dukes have a 34-22 lead.
I'll tell you this, Tom. You know, think about, we spent some time with Keith Dambrot yesterday, and it's been well chronicled about his situation, you know, his personal situation with his wife and what he's had to do, taking her to chemo, having to give his voice to his staff to help him lead this team, and look where they are right now. It's a great story.
Yeah, his wife Donna, who's been battling breast cancer, she's been at the games here in New York, which is the first time this year, which Keith told us was great for her and for the kids and the staff to see her. Rozier up top. Rozier into the paint. Rozier no look pass to DeMichael, and he gets it around the rim. It's good. And a timeout called by St. Bonaventure. It's an 8-0 run by the Dukes to start the second half.
Yeah, playing connected for sure.
Down 15 to Loyola. And they didn't go on a big run to cut into that lead. They went on a 4-2 run. Then they went on a 6-2 run. That's how they got back into that game. So still plenty of time left in this one.
Now, reference their experience a few minutes ago, and that's what that is. These guys have been in so many different types of games. You know, Mark Schmidt even mentioned that getting so many transfers, they're like freshmen. You know, they have to figure it out as time goes on. But they're playing against a team that did beat them twice, that has their number. We'll see what gives the rest of this game.
Here's Banks. He kicks it out. Evans open for three. It's good. That may relax him a little bit. It's an 11-point game. The Bonnies within 11.
I think Mark Schmidt called that. He knew that he would get that type of attention with Banks going off the ball screen with the skip pass on the weak side.
And Banks forces the turnover. Drame was setting a screen. Flowers for three. No good. But the rebound is taken out by Evans. That was a lucky bounce. Adams Woods to Banks for three. No good off the front of the rim. And Rozier with the rebound. DeMichael running the floor with him. They kick it out. Day Grant for three. It's good.
Yeah, he's on fire. He's feeling it today.
39-25. They're 5 of 7. He's 5 of 7 from beyond the arc.
And there's a couple of situations where the Bonnies had a chance. They're just letting them play physical.
They are. Banks with a shot fake to Brown. Brown looking on a diagonal high-low, and then goes off the side of the rim. Drame with the rebound.
I think Ben Brock mentioned that Dixon wasn't used much in the last game, but they need his presence going against the big bodies of Brown and Venning in this game. Doing a stellar job thus far, but it's a lid on the rim from behind the arc, Tom, for the Bonnies.
The Bonnies 1 for 10 from the floor in this half. 7 on the shot clock. Dixon, spin move, working against Brown. Well, that was an awkward reverse layup.
Yeah, not a good shot, but this advantage
Evans,
break.
no look pass, lays it in as Flowers.
Keith Dambrot not happy with that decision. Going to bring in Mahorchik.
And Rozier will slow it down as he comes across the timeline. The lead is 12. It was 14 at one point. They go down low to Dixon. Dixon able to catch a tough pass. Tipped out by Adams Woods. Adams Woods leaves it on an alley-oop to Evans. That was as athletic a catch as you will find. And Duquesne calls a timeout.
Tom, they're not going away. The Bonnies with the thievery, going up top with the dunk. Do you have a reservation for the referees? Because there's only 5 fouls in this game.
None in this half.
Exactly. And offensive efficiency, tremendous by the Dukes. 12 assists on 16 made field goals. Obviously helped by Day Grant. It has been his day.
Yeah, in fact, Duquesne called the timeout, so they'll have the basketball. 13:15 to play in the second half. The winner goes on to play VCU tomorrow on CBS at 1 o'clock in the A-10 final. Jimmy Clark, his jumper is good. He got a little space. It's now 41-29. The lead was 14.
And they're just creating a tough situation for the Bonnies off that high ball screen, that middle ball screen action, the screen and rescreen. Good job there by Evans.
Yeah, Evans has picked up some big minutes here. He has 7 points. 21 starts last year, only 3 starts this year, but his minutes are basically the same.
The Bonnies can ill afford to continue to trade baskets. They're going to have to get some stops here. Once again, middle ball screen action. Great job there by Banks.
Yeah, Banks and Evans both got a hand on that. Here's Banks up the floor. Esam Boost was trying to set up, thought about the 3.
He's been very quiet, Esam Boost. As that mismatch.
Yeah, splits the defense, and he's fouled going up, and he'll get 2 free throws. And in case you're wondering what free throws are, it's when the player goes to the line and takes some shots with nobody really around him defending him.
I couldn't get it out. I mean, I couldn't get your dinner reference out for the refs because it's like they have somewhere to go. Great clue. We're having some fun here,
but of course we are.
They're allowing these guys to really get after it.
That's the first foul of the second half. And Flowers will go to the free throw line. And he missed. St. Bonaventure is 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Duquesne has not attempted a free throw.
Duquesne knocked off Dayton. And clearly, I think, belongs in the field. 2 misses there. Got the offensive rebound, though. It's going to allow the Atlantic 10 to get 2 teams. And I know Richmond is another team we talked about, Tom, that's going to have some consideration as well.
Mahorsic with the rebound. Here's Clark up the floor.
Easenbo guarding Mahorsic. See if they try to exploit that mismatch with his size.
Day Grant up off the glass hard. It's good. He went with his left hand, and Grant has 17.
I want to say that I think the Bonnies look like they're a little tired, Tom.
Adams Woods sweeps in. Again, both teams had the off day yesterday, which was good for the teams that have had to play a lot this week. Here's Day Grant again. Count the bucket. A little continuation.
So see how they're not getting back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not sliding their feet. Duquesne is having their way with them right now.
Day Grant, 3rd in college basketball.
That is amazing.
In free throw shooting.
I want to know who the 2 ahead of him. 95%.
Pretty good. His first free throw of the day. Duquesne's first free throw. He makes it to finish off this three-point play and build this lead to 13. The largest lead was 14.
Oh, you know how hard it is to shoot 95% from the free throw?
Yes, I do sense it. Evans. Flowers has it blocked away. Clark, who's a defensive whiz.
Yeah, all defensive team. All conference, shall I say.
Yeah, two-time all defensive team. In fact, Keith Dambrot told us yesterday, I put him on the point guard because I need to keep him engaged so I can get his offense. Well, he and Grant have combined for 32 points today.
He's like a defensive back, like a Deion Sanders or Revis Island, where you don't want to throw it in his direction because he's a ball hawk.
Shot clock at 5. Banks fade away from the left. It's good.
I mean, Banks is the one player, as you would say, that has the ability to get his own shot, particularly when you're playing against a team that's as disciplined as Duquesne. You got to have a guy that has a little wiggle and a little shot creation, but also is a shot maker.
DeMichael, only the second three of the second half for Duquesne. Barre got the offensive rebound, but then it was stolen away as he tried to kick it out. Here's Banks in the paint from the logo. It was an air ball saved on the baseline, but a traveling violation is called on Chuck Pride.
I think it was a foul.
Oh, it wasn't a foul. Excuse me. My bad. DeMichael was called for the foul.
I think they heard you and they woke up and they said we got to.
Well, it's just the third foul combined for these two teams in the second half.
There's still a ton of time left for St. Bonaventure to make a run in this game. Obviously, it started on the defensive end. Oh, my God. Dede Grant may have got away with a foul there.
Esau Boost with his second bucket from the elbow. So now it's down to a single-digit game, 46-37. We mentioned St. Bonaventure was down by 15 to Loyola.
Bonaventure proud. You know, we've done games at the Raleigh Center. They support the bodies.
Oh, they do.
They're starting to get a little active. Look at physicality.
Whistle blows, and the foul is called on Flowers.
And I don't blame them, Tom. They have so many fouls to give. You might as well be physical and see if you can get some steals.
Barre checks out. Dixon is in for Duquesne. There you saw the foul. In fact, Flowers then made sure he wasn't bleeding.
The other thing is sometimes when you're really, really physical like this, the refs do not blow the whistle because both teams are being physical. And what you don't want to be is the team that is not being physical and the refs are allowed to be too physical with you. That same action again worked again.
Yeah, Dixon just couldn't finish. The ball is tipped around and Flowers comes out of it. So now 3-possession game. St. Bonaventure back with the ball. Again, they were down by 15 against Loyola. That was a game that went into double overtime.
If they can get a 3 here, man, it'll get the crowd into this game.
Well, instead, it was a Clark steal. How about this pass to Dede Grant? They know where each other is. Dede Grant off the glass. Body control. It's good.
Just so in sync like Montana and Rice. On a nice low long pass and a great finish.
He has 22 points. Evans to the corner. He's on boost for 3. No good. Ball tipped around.
Just one of those situations. Every time it looks like the Bonnies can make a run.
He's on boost.
Oh, foul.
It's out of bounds. It'll just remain Duquesne basketball.
See, again, like I said, Montana to Rice. And you know what Jerry Rice would do with it? It'd be a touchdown all day long. Dede Grant with the finish. He's having an awesome game. Always good to have one that can get you a bucket. It's great being a great coach. Old Steve Lapp used to say, great players make you a great coach.
Yeah, I think that's what Banks was for St. Bonaventure the other day, because they don't necessarily have that go-to guy, whereas Duquesne probably has the 2 guys.
And it makes it tough. And if everybody understands that and allows those guys, shall I say, to do what they do.
Right.
Makes the chemistry great. I mean, everything he did today.
How about Grant? 24 points. That may have been the toughest shot of the day for him.
He's playing horse right now.
He's 9 of 13 from the floor.
It's just one of those days when that basket looks so big, like everything just falls.
Banks off the glass. Oh, off the body. Count the bucket.
They're going at each other a little bit. Banks And Dede Grant, you see him getting to the rim, and it's just really hard. I mean, it's hard to win that way when you have to score baskets where you exert that much energy. But give it to Banks. As you said before, Tom, he's used to being in these type of situations for his time at St. Peter's. He is trying to put his team on his back.
Well, Banks will go to the free throw line. Let's check in with AJ.
Well, Tom, Mark Schmidt said about Banks how he's struggled offensively all year, but he really embodies what this team is all about. He calls it a march effort. He doesn't, waver against adversity. He's a true leader on this team, and as you all mentioned, he really stepped up in the quarterfinals. And he's that guy that they look to in those big moments and clutch moments in games.
Yeah, he just made that free throw. He's 1 for 1 today, but that's where he lived the other day. He was 12 for 12 from the free throw line. That three is no good. Ball is tipped around out of bounds. It remains Duquesne basketball with 20 on the shot clock. 7:49 to play in the second half. The chance to move on to face VCU in the final. He would give the reins over to Drew Joyce, his associate head coach, and Rick McFadden, one of his other assistant coaches. One would handle offense, one will handle defense. And Keith said to us, he said, listen, we started 0-5. I just did the best we could, considering that my wife was sick, and I put in my 8 hours every single day. He said, but when I wasn't there, he said, my coaches and the players realized that they needed to pick up the slack, and they definitely did. And it's a great story, and it does help when you have scorers like Jimmy Clark, who just missed that layup there, that has helped build this 10-point lead.
I mean, well said, Tom. Having family members, grandmother in particular, who fought the battle with breast cancer and beat it. It's a team effort. It's a team effort to counteract that ugly disease. Shout out to Keith Danborough and his group for getting that done. And how about that block there?
9 on the shot clock. It doesn't reset. Banks up top. Banks for three. He's fouled. He'll get 3 free throws. Well, that's a good one because it stops the clock. 7:07 to play. And it gives Banks, who was perfect from the free throw line in the quarterfinal, a chance to go back to continue that perfection.
Something every coach cannot handle is fouling on a 3-point shot and putting Banks at the foul line. And as you mentioned, Tom, giving him a chance to score without time being extinguished. We'll see. The other thing is we'll see if the Bonnies will try to extend some pressure here at some point with 7 minutes to go. Maybe get Duquesne, surprise them a little bit and get them off their game and maybe create a turnover or an advantage situation so they can score once again.
Second free throw is good. It's an 8-point game. Banks is now 15 for 15 in the last 2 games from the free throw line. And he converts that one. He came into the spotlight with St. Peter's when the Peacocks went to the Elite Eight under Shaheen Holloway, transferred.
That pressure I was talking about.
7-point game. Netchis going up and has it blocked from behind. Venning was able to run the floor.
And that's what you do it for. You want to speed them up. And exactly what happened. They missed the layup. And listen, if they get a triple here, the roof will come off, particularly from the Bonnies crowd.
Just 2 for 17 from beyond the arc. Banks with the ball. He's got 12.
Got Jimmy Clark on him. It's hard to shake him. No matter how elusive you are, he's a tremendous defensive player.
Pride, shot clock is at 5.
Got to shoot it.
Pride, shot clock is at 2. Pride trying to get some space. He does. Lets it go. It's good! Oh, my!
Of course he was going to make that.
It's a 9-0 run.
Oh, wow.
Rozier for 3, and the answer, it's no good. Ball tips around. Pride picks it off the ground.
A great fight there. Looked like Drowny had the rebound. Pride showing some pride. You see the crowd and Mark Schmidt, the mad scientist, digging into his bag right now. Let's see what he comes up with.
Again, they were down by 15 in the quarterfinal to Loyola. They came back and won it in double overtime. Down 14 here. They're on a 9-0 run.
See if they come with the double. See if they can find someone if he comes with a double. There it is.
Benning bumped up top. That's going to be a backcourt violation.
Benning may be tired. I mean, they had an opportunity. As I said before, of course he was going to make that. You can't draw that up. I'd rather be lucky than good, as they say. Had a chance right there. 4-point lead, turnover. Got to dig in, get one more stop here. Both these games have been unbelievable, right, Tom?
They really have. The whole tournament has been unbelievable. There have been very few blowouts at all.
That's that high ball screen action, trying to exploit Benning. Good job of recovering there.
Day Grant throws it up with the shot clock. Oh! He banked it home! What did you say about lucky than good? That's both right there.
It is his day. For sure.
He has 27 points. He's 10 of 14 from the floor. Adams Woods trying to get some separation. Gets it to Banks.
Can't panic. It's still only down 7 no matter what. 2 by 2. As I mentioned before, an experienced team.
Adams Woods with 3. No good. Rebound is taken down by Drame. 4:45 to play. I mean, everybody is standing here at Barclays Center.
And just a great atmosphere. And again, no need for the Bonnies to panic. Just continue to play solid defense. There is plenty of time on the clock. The question is, are they going to continue to exploit Benning here?
Day Grant for 3. It's an air ball. Ball's tipped around. Pride takes it on the bounce. Again, 7-point lead for Duquesne.
The ball to Banks. Let's find Banks and see if Banks can make something happen. He's been the one guy that's been able to put the ball in the basket.
Benning puts it on the deck. Benning to the corner. Extra pass. Banks throws it up. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2. DeMichael will be called for the foul.
That's what I said. Like, he's the one guy that can create some situations where you have the help to get someone else's shot, or he can do it. But Tom, come on now. He might have stepped out. It almost looked like he stepped out of bounds there. Right in front of Keith Dambrock. I mean,
well, he's not going to
you got to call.
Keith's not going to call.
No, he's not going to call.
5 team fouls now for Duquesne. Just 2 for St. Bonaventure. And Banks will go to the free throw line. Grew up in Somerset, New Jersey, about 50 miles from Barclays Center. He's 9th all-time in St. Bonaventure history in free throw percentage. He's only missed 10 this year.
He just had an up and down year with this group, and right now
it's up.
Coming to the forefront. He's showing his value for sure. There's more pressure, full court pressure. Just tease them a little bit, see if they'll turn it over, run some time off the clock. As they get into this offense, you see they've subbed out Benning. Now they have a more mobile group out there with Isambo.
Isambus is on Dixon. They go to Day Grant.
Good job by Isambus right there with the help.
Clark steps toward the baseline. Clark got everybody up, gives it to Dixon, has it stripped away by Isambus. It's saved by Pride, who throws it up, but he's out of bounds. It will be Duquesne basketball when we come back. 5-point game, 1 second on the shot clock. Stay with us. That too. We had it as a 3.
Right.
They just confirmed that it was indeed a 3-pointer.
See Mark Schmidt, he's confused now. He's like,
he thought what you thought. He thought he was out of bounds. All right, so 20 on the shot clock. That's a break for the Dukes.
Still comes down to having to defend.
DeMichael up top. Netchus hands it off to Clark. Clark to DeMichael again. He's open for 3. The little hitch, it's good. He splashed it home from the top of the circle.
And they just run that action at the top of the key. That cutting, UCLA cut. You have to help. You're chasing. DeMichael wide open. Great execution by the Dukes.
So 3 minutes left to play in the second half. Adams to the corner. No look pass up top to Isambus for 3. Perfect execution.
Isambus, he's been looking to make that shot.
He sure has.
A number of them. Listen, we have a situation here. 5 points. Pressure's on Duquesne right now. Again, to continue to score the basketball, you cannot watch the clock right now.
And you can't be conservative if you're Duquesne, which I don't imagine they will be.
They've always been, again, this entire year, they've struggled. That's a tough shot right there.
Wow, slashed it home from the left wing, Jimmy Clark.
Stars just don't come out at night, Tom. They shine. And right there, Jimmy Clark with a big-time shot. I mean, before you can get your thought out, they're going back and forth.
59-53, 2:10 to play in the second half.
Can't trade. Got to get some stops.
Yeah, particularly if you're trading threes for twos.
And I'd like to see them trap off this ball screen. They continue to work that same action. Trap, maybe get Clark in a disadvantage situation where he throws the ball away. Good job there. Straight line drive.
And Clark will go to the free throw line. He's fouled and then one. Donna Dambrot so happy about that.
That was just great offense, the way they set it up. They had Day-Day Grant on the strong side corner. Oh, he could not get there. The help was far too late by Adams Woods. Just no way to get there. You see him reaching, Adams Woods reaching in, and the reason why he's not in position, his hands are there and not his body, is because Day-Day Grant has been on fire, and he was in the corner. Great setup by Keith Dambrot.
This will be the second free throw attempt of the half for Clark. He has 13 second half points. And he finishes off the three-point play. The lead is 9, 62-53. You saw Donna kind of peer down to see where Keith is, who's in a catcher's position in front of the scorer's table.
Bonnie's trying to go fast here. They're going to figure something out. Got to score against this elite defense.
1.5 to play. Drame with the block from behind. And Netchis is tied up. They're going to call a foul on Adams Woods. And the Bonnie's now with 14 fouls. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, they got to pick up full court. Got to start trapping. Got to start getting after them. Hopefully they turn the basketball over. This is a time to be super duper aggressive, particularly when they have to go to length of the floor.
That's 3 fouls on Adams Woods. Evans will check out. Flowers back in for St. Bonaventure. It's similar to game 1 where they had a foul at the end of the game because they hadn't reached anywhere near the bonus.
You're right, but you know, the Bonnies has to turn it up right now. Keep fresh bodies in. As I said before, they will turn the basketball over. It's a free throw game at this point. Don't foul him. Make them push it up. Hopefully they do something that's not so smart.
And Clark is fouled by Flowers. You probably wanted to foul Netchis, and not because he's not a good free throw shooter. He's 71%. But he's 12 of 17. Now, he wasn't in the act of shooting, so it's okay, because that is the 5th team foul.
Let's continue to be aggressive. You got to find a way to get a trap and see if you can get a steal.
Evans will check out. Bennings back in.
Down 9. Clock's not your friend right now. You got to find a way. Right here, you got to go trap. See right there, now someone's got to step up.
Now they have to do it here too.
Exactly. That's the guy who wanted to foul him. Put Bennett in the game to foul him.
Yeah, so that's 16 fouls on St. Bonaventure. So the next one will force a 1-and-1 opportunity as Pride will check back in for St. Bonaventure.
Okay.
And Flowers will check out. Keith Dambrot says that he wants Jimmy Clark to inbound the basketball.
One of their best passers. Get in a situation where he can make the pass. You know what? I finally got to see this Duquesne team up close and personal in practice yesterday, and I told you, I said, Tom, this team's pretty good.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
And I said, they're deep, they're athletic, they got scores.
And don't forget, they started 0-5 in the league, and a timeout called by Duquesne. 1:14 to play in the second half. A chance to move on to the A-10 finals on the line. Possession hour belongs to the Bonnies.
Not a lot of time left. Bonnies, I don't want to say need a miracle, but they definitely need to create with their defense. Some turnovers or steal. Oh,
They
backcourt.
almost got one.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, Grant gets it to the middle of the floor. They go down low to Drame. They're just playing keep away right now. They get it to Grant again, and Grant to midcourt. Over to Clark. 5 on the shot clock. Down low to Michael, wide open. I don't think that's what St. Bonaventure wanted to do. It's 64-53.
And they were, again, there were a couple of times where they almost traveled, but it didn't happen.
And now Drame pulls it down. 46.8 to play, and the foul is on St. Bonaventure. And I think the Duquesne fans are sensing something here.
Sensing something, Tom, that hasn't been done since 1977.
Yeah, trying to get back to the A-10 finals. The last time they were in the semis was 2009. The last time they were in the NCAA tournament was 1977.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's been that long. Keith Danbrock, think about what he's been going through personally. Not rooting for any team because VCU is definitely a formidable opponent, and they've had their challenges this year they have to overcome. But if this thing holds serve, it will be a tremendous game.
Yeah, 2009 was the last time they were in the A-10 finals. Adams Woods going up. He's fouled by Drame. 38.5 to play. That's not what Duquesne would want. Was a foul there. And it's going to be 2 shots.
Tom, you said earlier that Duquesne started off 0-5. Give Keith Danbrock credit for noticing he needed to shake some things up. But if they don't start 0-5, they're in the thick of things for the league title as well.
Yeah, he said all the games were close that we lost. He said, but I have to admit, many teams wouldn't recover from an 0-5 start in the conference. Adams Woods missed the first free throw. And it's all part of what has been a winding road for just about every team in the Atlantic 10 this year.
A gauntlet of a league. I mean, we've seen enough of these games. Very well coached teams, talented players, and now VCU, and it looks like Duquesne will play for the right to be the league tournament championship. Champion, shall I say.
Day Grant will inbound along the baseline. 38.5 to play. Gets it into Netchus, who's fouled on that pass. And he'll go to the free throw line. Again, he's 70% for the year, but it's very limited opportunities.
Yeah, just not enough time. 36 seconds.
Yeah, not enough time.
Basically a miracle would have to happen. Duquesne looks like they're going to advance. Great game plan by Keith Danbrock. Obviously, Day Grant, it was just his day today. He was the difference, period, in this game. Great, very well coached defensively. Great game plan by Duquesne. It helped that the Bonnies could not make a shot, Tom, from behind the arc.
Yeah, they're 19% from beyond the arc. Netchus first is good. He got a friendly Brooklyn to Pittsburgh bounce on that one. And he makes it an 11-point game, 65-54. Makes both. Rattles it home. The lefty. 66-54. 35 seconds to play. It's all about just letting the time go if you're Duquesne.
Yeah, don't foul.
Don't foul, particularly on a 3. Esam boost from the corner. It's good. He splashes it home, and a timeout called by Mark Schmidt. 66-57. 23.8 to play. Come on back to Barclays Center.
What they've had to do, he's been a beneficiary of having some really good transfers. We remember when they had Kyle Lofton and those guys, and
guys that he built from the ground level.
And certainly no one wants to end the year like this, but as there's no shame, but give Duquesne credit. They've beaten them 3 times now.
Oh, Netchus, what's he going to do? He's going to finish it. Two-handed jam. How about that for an exclamation point? 68-57, 15 seconds to play. Pride way up top. He'll launch the 3. It's good. 68-60, 9 seconds left. Duquesne started 0-5 in the regular season in the Atlantic 10. Think about that.
Unbelievable.
0-5 to then finish 10-8. So they went 10-3 in their last 13 A-10 games.
VCU lost their last 3 games of the season in conference. And you're talking about, and one of the coaches mentioned, this is a new season, right? There's the preseason, right, where you pre-conference season, so you say there's the conference, and then there is now, that's March Madness. And these 2 teams here have done a tremendous job thus far of advancing. And it's going to be a good one.
Well, Netchus will go to the free throw line. He was just fouled, 7.3 to play.
Todd, I'm sure LeBron somewhere is cheering on Keith Danbrock for sure.
Yeah, Keith Danbrock was LeBron James's coach in high school. He went on to then coach at Akron in his hometown. He said, who would leave your hometown to go to Duquesne to be a head coach? But he did it in honor of his dad, Sid. who won a national championship as a player with Duquesne back in the mid-50s. And now he's got Duquesne a step away from the NCAA tournament and a day away from battling for the Atlantic 10 championship. Keith Dambrot's Duquesne Dukes win it by a final score of 70-60. And for the first time since he took over